Welcome to Down to Earth's Garden to Table series. Today we're going to take some of the tomatoes that we started from seed earlier in the season, and we're going to plant them here in the bed at Bed 21 in Common Grounds Garden. So I've lined up the tomatoes we have. Over here we have two stupichkas, here and here. We'll put those into the ground. Right here we've got an orange currant, and on the far end there we have the beefsteak. So we'll put the fore end. I think that we'll use the far end of the bed for maybe just something else, some peppers or some sort of novelty plant as the season goes along, but it'll give us a little bit of room here. And I'm just going to dig the hole, use the Down to Earth all-purpose 462 fertilizer, and let them get started. In a subsequent video, we'll be looking at different staking, trellising, caging methods so that we can give these some support, keep the tomatoes up off the ground, and also some tricks to keep the tomatoes from breaking the branches once they get too heavy. But right now, I'm going to start to dig in. I'll start with this one right in front of me, this stupichka or stupus. The first thing I'm going to do is actually take this plant and nip off several of the bottom leaves. I'm doing that because tomatoes have a pretty cool ability to sprout roots from here. So I can make a slightly deeper hole and then dig down to here and plant the tomato plant and give it another few inches of sort of automatic root space. And it also is a great thing to do if you have any sort of leggy plants. If they get a little too tall, tomatoes get a little too tall, you simply dig your hole a little bit deeper or dig it long, and you can lay it on its side and bury deep. And it helps the tomato, and it also means you don't have a floppy plant to work with. So when transplanting into the ground, I generally make a hole about twice as wide as the plant's root ball, which is pretty small in this case. These are 4-inch pots. I take the plant out. I'm just going to set it here. And always a good idea when dealing with fertilizer to wear gloves, even natural fertilizers. And we're going to put in about 3 tablespoons per plant. Just mix that lightly into the soil. We will give these liquid applications throughout the season, so there's no pressure here to get all of our fertilization done at once. Just set that right in there so that the soil, when brought back to grade, is going to be right about there. As the season rolls on, we'll also be pruning up these lower leaves for good airflow. And then you just push the soil back in around, break up any clods. And then press down lightly to restore capillarity. Bury it a little bit deeper. Burying them deep also means that they've got a little more support if there's any sort of wild wind at this time of year. Okay, well, that one is done. We're going to repeat that for each of the tomatoes we have left, and that should be that for today. So I've spaced these in between maybe 2 feet 4 inches to 18 inches apart. Generally, in terms of tomato spacing, thing to keep in mind is how much watering you're going to be doing. If you're going to be doing a tomato with minimal watering, then give it more space. And you might even consider letting it sit on the ground versus caging it, because the shade of the leaves will protect the soil from some evaporation. They'll be able to spread out their roots in a larger space. If you get them closer together, like these two over here, then you're going to need to give them more water, more fertilizer, because they're going to be in each other's space. But it should be interesting to watch how the extra space over here affects these tomatoes versus these that are closer together. And then we'll come back, we'll probably talk about pruning, we'll talk about staking, caging, and see what the season brings. Thanks for watching Down to Earth's Home to Garden series. For more information, how-to guides, and videos, please check out downtooearthfertilizer.com.